You know, guys, luckily I have the passion for doing things like this, and it is not my actual means of living and making money. Because if it is, I would have been probably frustrated and have quit at this point. It's a tedious thing to build cars. So this is episode 10 of me building a Bronco out of two Broncos, two parts Broncos. I'm trying to save as much as I can out of the two Broncos so I can save money myself, right? Because if I have a lot of money, then I wouldn't be dealing with rusty parts or rebuilding things. I'll just buy everything brand new and then have a pretty expensive Bronco at the end. But that's not my purpose here. So I hope so far you're enjoying this video because I am definitely enjoying sharing it with you, my struggles, my successes, things like that on building a Bronco, right? You already know about my running Bronco, so I'm not going to go over that. But today, here's what I'm going to go over on what I'm going to do today. Let's go. So guys, episode 10 is probably not much different than episode 9, in which I tackle bodywork, right? What I mean by that is rust holes, cutting it, replacing it, or replacing the parts. I still have a lot of things to do in this body before I can take it off. Once I take off the body, you already know I'm going to work on the frame, the engine, transmission transfer case, in which I'll share with you also. But the battle with getting this body into the condition that I want continues on chapter 10. I try to make the videos as short as possible, maybe under 15 minutes, and not show you every single step because, again, it's not a do-it-yourself channel. But anyways, enjoy more body work for episode 10. I got distracted, guys, so ended up taking off the rear bumper and the front bumper because I needed to put the fenders and the grill later when I start to weld the pillar over here. So, but again, distraction. Moving on to a different part of the Bronco. I'm gonna work on this because I found that the one from the red is in good shape. So I'm gonna cut and paste and do other things. First, I'm gonna take off the spot welds so I can remove the back cover right here because it's rotten anyways. Replace that and then cut and paste something for that. Now, a lot of people ask me, did you go to school to learn all this stuff that you're doing? No, I did not. And probably that's why I work on 4x4s, something a little bit rougher where I can sometimes keep it rough without being too anal about it, right? But there's a lot of bodywork skills that you gotta kind of learn or just have an intuition for it. So anyways, taking off spot weld, you have to be careful because you can ruin both sides of the metal, but really use the right tools, right? So check this out, guys. I don't know if you can see that. You can buy something like this fairly cheap. So make sure you oil it and you press it into the metal, the spot weld, and it takes off the spot weld. Now, you can still have to chisel some of it out, maybe use some of your grinder to get it off, but it's a way to cleanly take it off. Alright, check this out, guys. It is off, and now I gotta cut the bottom right there. Cut, and I have to still take apart the other side. I mean the other part. Make sure that I take it off exactly the same. But as you can see, it's a little bit rusty back there. But the integrity is still there, so it'll be treated, painted, and that should last for a good amount of years afterwards. Again, the goal is to make it drivable, solid on the road, and maybe give me another 10-15 years. And if not, then she'll be taken apart again, and hopefully with new parts then, if I have the money. If not, no worries. That's what we got. Alright, guys, I need to cut the other piece from the good lower part of this, from the red one. I hate this because it's never exact, so I'm gonna cut this smaller, and then I'm gonna try to cut the other one over there bigger. That way I can make my adjustments. You know, the tricks, right? Hard to, I mean, look at this. Hard to really gauge. I mean, I measured it, have a template, so we'll see what happens, but the challenges, right? Anyways, the cover is right there. I just need to straighten it out and then weld it back into there once I'm complete. Alright, guys, took this out of the red Bronco and pretty much matched it up there to get rid of the rust that's over there. Little, you know, tack weld, pound, and then I'll be able to put it back together. So of course, I don't know if I should show you all of that stuff, but this is how I do it, and get rid of that rust hole back there. Alright, guys, I think the structural integrity is back. Couple of pinholes, but that's normal when you're welding something thin. Yeah, it's very thin some areas, but I think it looks good, and I'm gonna put the back panel in and we're good to go. Alright, guys, I am gonna weld this back in here, and I am done with the section. Moving along. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get to the floors, and then I gotta pay attention to the front there, the striker, the grill, put on the doors, measure things. Moving along. That's just body work. How exciting. What's going on, people? Different day, same episode, episode 10. And this episode right here, probably nothing exciting to you, but for me it's very exciting because I get to learn how to take apart a Bronco body panels, I mean, and then put it back together or create my own panels and make it work, and to make sure I save as much as possible on an original Bronco. So today I am going to continue to work on the body, the tub. I think I'm on the passenger side rear wheel well. With the years, it's a 1974 original wheel well. Lots of mud kind of gets stuck on the corners, so it gotten rot, pretty much pretty good amount of rot. So I cut it off, and then I'm gonna extend the edges because overall it's still in good shape, and then tack weld it like it was supposed to be tack welded in there. And then I think I'm moving on to other parts, and I'll update you as I go along. But how exciting! Hope you're having fun. All right, guys. Always gotta have a recap of yesterday's work. I still gotta grind the lower portion of it. I didn't see until the primer was put on, but here's the backside. If you can see, it's in there, good to go. No more rust. Now you'll notice the wheel well is off because I did that yesterday before I went upstairs, and I will be fixing that today. Hey, look, guys, 5-6 hours. It does take a lot of time, but it's fun for me anyways. Saving something like this from the junkyard literally and getting it back on the road is just rewarding. Added some material down there, and I still need to add material up here, and then we'll clean up the other side, tack weld it over there, and it'll be done. Why am I doing this? Because this one side is gonna cost me, I don't know, I think $75, but or $80, and then $100 to ship. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy. It's been a long day. It's taking off the old rusty stuff that's tack welded or point welded or spot welded into the body frame is just a pain in the butt, but I want to do it right, so mocked it. It's in there for now. I think it looks good. At least cancer is gone. All of the stuff that I had cut off is right there. Alright, everybody, different day, continuation of yesterday's work, episode 10, where I'm working on the wheel well on the driver's side. And here's what I did. Took off the rusty parts and added on. Now, this is actually fairly cheap. I think Carpenter's sells it for like $80. The problem is that, again, I live in an island here in Hawaii, and shipping is gonna cost me about $150 to get a $80 part. So I just can't get myself to spend that amount of money. And besides, this is like a rebuild type, right? It's not a concours like I mentioned already in my other videos. So I'm doing the right thing, but I'm not going all the way, in which changing all the panels is the only solution. And that is mainly because of cost. Trying to build a Bronco that's reasonable to me. and not all out break the bank. So anyways, continuing with that today, and hopefully do other body work here so I can move on to other things. I'll continue to update and record this thing as I go on with it. Headgear, because I'm getting all kinds of metal shavings in my head and I hate it. Try not to wash my hair every day. Just kidding, guys. Anyways, end of day on episode 10. Whew, what a long day, but we've done a lot. My wife and I helped me out. Check this out. It didn't look like it needed work, but when we fit the door in here, it's tweaked because, I don't know, maybe they wrapped it on some kind of a lifting rope on both sides, so it's kinked here and then it's in. So I had to remove the top portion, and then I will again use the one on the red Bronco, because that one is pretty straight. Put it there and that'll be good with the doors. Finished that. Did a few more work there. Lots of work. I don't know, I think I'll continue to put more videos maybe another day on episode 10 before I release it, but that's what we got. A lot of body work, just work. Episode 10, more body work. I'm working on this rocker panel right here, and I think I'm going to close out this episode, but there are still many more body work to do.